All right, guys. So I'm glad you came back to the cafe so we can have another little chit chat here. So I actually want to go over some of our upcoming K dramas for the month of April. So March gave us it gave us quite a bit. It had really good potential. I wasn't too disappointed for March, but April is about to come with a bang. So we're gonna talk about, and there's a lot that's gonna be coming out, but I'm only gonna share with you guys the ones that I am most excited to see. So starting off with Bloodhounds 2, let me put my T down, child. So Bloodhounds 2, that is going to be our start of April. And that's what I mean. April is starting off with a bang. So it's going to be premiering on Netflix on April 3rd. And so with Netflix, they're going to release all the episodes. So we got to binge this, okay? So April 3rd, Bloodhounds 2. And, from the first one, Woo Wan, who was an inspiring, great boxer, uh, developed a brotherly love with Lee Sang Yee's character. So the two of them, and we had I forgot what the villain in that one did. They basically took down like some corrupt people in the first one. Going to season two of Bloodhounds 2, they are still trying to, they're aspiring to be the greats in boxing. However, you have Rain, has joined the cast, who's going to be the protagonist and the villain, so to speak. And he is basically like ruling this underground boxing circle. And what he does is basically try to lure Lee Sang Yi Woo-do-won's character to join this whatever this underground situation is going. So apparently with this, we're going to see a lot more fighting, maybe like gruesome. And me, I love a good action thriller. Oh my gosh, yes, show me a fight on TV though. I don't, I love some good action, so I am really excited about this. I know you guys are too. So we got to binge this together. We're gonna talk about it once it's done. So be looking out for Bloodhounds 2 on April 3rd. Next, let's get into Perfect Crown. So this is a Disney Plus series, and this is going to be premiering on April 10th. So April 10th, and so Perfect Crown is going to be starring IU, and then you have Beyonce. IU's character, who is a basically comes from wealth. She's a daughter of a wealthy man, and essentially wealthy family. However, she is viewed as a commoner. Well, let me scale back a bit. Let me go back a bit because this is supposed to be like South Korea, in South Korea, 21st century, with a monarchy. So we're kind of getting that. If you ever seen King Eternal Monarch, like that, something like that, which I'm actually excited about because I love a good like historical K drama. So I'm really excited and I love IU. Really excited about that. So yes, IU's character is a daughter of a wealthy family, and however, she's looked at as a commoner because she's apparently illegitimate. So to the eyes of many, I guess you can have all the money in the world, but when you have no status, then you're nothing. Now she's going to be entering in a contract marriage with Young Yun Sok's character, who is a crown prince, but because he essentially has everything, he has the status, but he technically doesn't have anything in the sense that like his existence itself is basically a threat because the king is still there, like him being the crown prince. You know how that goes. Like the king always, I don't want to say always, but all he does is worry about him taking a crown. So he's a threat. So they're entering a contract marriage. This is supposed to be a rom com. Actually, I thought I knew it was going to be a romance, but I didn't know if it was going to be like a comedy too. So it's going to be a rom com, and we're going to see that. I love IU. I feel like I have not seen anything that she wasn't good at. So I'm really excited about this one. I know y'all too. So we're gonna watch this one together too. We're gonna have a lot to talk about, okay? Let's just hope April doesn't give us any. It's starting off so good. We just don't want it to give us any like high hopes and fall flat. You know what I mean? But yeah, excited about that one. Next, we have We Are All Trying Here. So this is supposed to be premiering on April 18th. This is going to be a story. So it features Kukyo Hwan and Go Yoon Jung. So I'm starting to really become a really true fan of Kukyo Hwan. I'm starting to become a really big fan of his. Anyway, so this is supposed to be a story. Now, the thing with this one is, I think this is a melodrama, right? It's a drama, a life drama for sure. And I don't tend to gravitate to those, as those are not the ones I'm excited. I always watch them, but there's not always one I just that reels me in. I have to hear a lot about it first before I want to go into it. But this one is it has the same writer from my Liberation Notes and my Mister, so they already sold me from there. This is supposed to be a story. So Kul Kyo Hwan's character is a director who, out of his friend group, is the only one who has not debuted yet. He comes across, a cross paths with a producer played by Kuyang Ju. Yeah, they cross paths, and she is actually a producer who has some type of physical trauma. Does that make sense? Like, so when she gets like not physical trauma, like in a sense, like she has these nosebleeds, it says. So she basically has these problems. So I guess we're going to see that the life and the struggles with that. Now the title says it all. We are all trying here, and I mean that is just life period. So this will be a really good. What the heck is the writer going through? Like bringing up all these like dramas like this. These are masterpieces though. So I'm anxious for it. Then we have Scarecrow. So Scarecrow is supposed to be premiering on April 20th. This is going to be a mystery thriller. So I don't know what's wrong with me, but I have been into thrillers like no other these days. So this is supposed to be a story about a once like really good detective, or I don't know, like very great detective who got demoted, um who then tries to redeem himself with a once cold case from a series of murders and stuff. He redeems himself by taking on those cases because of events that are repeating in the current time. So, um, but with that, he has to basically like team up or work with a prosecutor who once used to be his bully back when they were in school. So we're going to, I mean, see that unfold. And apparently, with the mystery drama in that type of setting already, the the culprit is close. You know what I mean? So we got to figure that one out. So y'all watch this with me, okay? Because we got to figure this one out too, okay? We got the men going on now. All right, let's see. So that's premiering April 20th. I don't know the platform it's going to be premiering on. I'll find it though. We're going to watch it together though. Okay, so next we have Sold Out on You. So this is going to be on Netflix on April 22nd. And this is supposed to be a rom-com that's featuring Anyo Soap and Chae Won Bin. So it is Anyo Soap is supposed to be a CEO of a cosmetics company, and Chae Won Bin is I guess the sales um is in the sales, basically selling out all the products. So we'll see. I think she is like going to be like a little bit more of a quirky situation with him. The personalities are going to be different. This is a rom com, so you can kind of get that. It has like the basic there. So you had me. This story had me at Anyo Soap as a CEO. So, and I think, from what I'm not mistaken, I think this is supposed to be like showing like their relationship over a 24-hour span. I think so. That might be like the little bit, that little like kicker of it. So we'll see. Anyo Soap is the CEO, so we gotta watch. And lastly, for me, we have Filing for Love. So this is going to be a rom com premiering on April 25th. This is a story it's featuring Shin Ye Sun and Young Myung, and this is a workplace rom com. Shin Ye Sun's character is the head of like an auditing department, the youngest female executive at this particular company, who demoted Gung Young's character, who is and placed him in a on a team that has to deal with like the most, I guess, like the most scandals or something like that. So they're working together. She's the head, and he's not. The trailer for this looks extremely cliche, for a rom com. So I don't know how excited I am going to be when I actually watch it, but I am a fan of Shin Sung, and also with Gung Myung and his chubby cheeks. So so I mean, I don't know. We'll see. This one I like. I'm not I'm not, my heart is not all the way there with that one, but I'm just saying, like, this might be something to watch. You can never, when there's a rom com, you always need some in your, in your repertoire, that you can always go back to. There's always room for like a good comfort, rom com. So, but yeah, it looks very cliche. I'm just gonna say this, but I could be like wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe there'll be some twist or something like that. You never know. But whew, child, I mean, April. April has so much going on. And those are not even all the dramas. Those are just the ones that like have piqued my interest in some form or fashion. So we'll see. Hopefully April is not trying to fool us with these dramas, especially with like how it's starting off, like with Bloodhounds and the Perfect Crown. Those are like the main ones. So I'm excited for April with these dramas. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to watch in such a time frame, but you guys let me know which ones that you are excited to watch. Okay, and I want to hear it, or even ones I have not mentioned. So you guys let me know.